First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
We're here regarding the arrest of UF football player DeAndre Porter. The incident in question.
Another UF football player is suspended from the team, this time because of a felony charge of violence in a relationship. That's our top story tonight. Good evening. It's October 14th. I'm Jenna Sands.
And I'm James Torres. Thanks for joining us. Freshman defensive back DeAndre Porter was arrested by the Gainesville Police Department on 2 felonies and a misdemeanor this morning. GPD says Porter accused his pregnant girlfriend of cheating on him with other teammates, and when she couldn't get any of his teammates on the phone to tell him, they say he pointed a gun at her. When they continued arguing the next morning, he shot at her, hitting the wall she was leaning on, but GPD says that this crime isn't just about Porter.
This is someone that made a choice, and a very horrible choice, that is going to not only cost him a lot, but it's going to cost the victim even more.
Porter's bond was set at $160,000, and we'll have more coverage on that during our sports block a little later on in the newscast. But in some lighter news, a Gainesville dental clinic recently received a grant of nearly $2 million.
Yeah, the Florida Department of Health in Alachua County made the official announcement today at the clinic. WUFT's Caitlin Bernitis joins us live from the newsroom. Caitlin, can you tell us why this clinic was chosen to receive this grant?
Well, Jenna, this clinic has a targeted focus on improving Alachua County's overall oral health. They have a focus on providing dental care to individuals who cannot usually afford to see a dentist.
Southwest Dental Clinic was full of excitement today at the official announcement of a nearly $2 million grant provided by United Health Foundation. The clinic will provide care on a sliding scale to people with or without insurance.
Many low-income areas and underserved populations don't have access to dental services, so this is an area that was definitely necessary, needed for the community.
What makes this clinic so unique is that it's located right in the heart of this community. Playgrounds and homes are located right across the street, making it easily accessible for those who need it.
Dental issues, in virtually every survey you do in a community, it's almost always comes out as number 1 or 2 of unmet health needs.
For residents, a neighborhood clinic could make the difference.
Didn't bother to go to the dentist because you know you can afford it.
Even a doctor's appointment used to be a multi-bus journey. Now there's dental care too.
Hoping that this is just the beginning for this community.
Another hope is that with affordable access to routine care, the clinic can help prevent the pain and cost of treating very serious dental problems. Caitlin Bernitis, WUFT News.
Thank you, Caitlin. It was pretty cloudy this morning, but it cleared up by this afternoon.
Absolutely. UF forecaster Rebecca Kopelman joins us from the Weather Center. Rebecca, what can we expect for tonight?
Well, those clouds signal the arrival of a cold front. Now, this is going to be a cold front. You're going to notice the difference by morning. Over the University of Florida's campus earlier on in the day, yeah, we had some of the clouds outside, but now the skies have cleared. And because the skies are going to stay clear, it's going to allow our temperatures to fall even further. Temperatures right now, they're a little warm, 85 degrees in Gainesville, 86 Ocala, and 84 in Valdosta, 88 even in Tallahassee, but the dew points have already started to drop, especially to our north. In Tallahassee and Valdosta, those dew points are in the 40s. Now, the lower those numbers are, the nicer it feels outside, and the nicer the lower rather our temperatures can fall. For us in North Florida, we'll likely be in the 50s overnight tonight, 54 in Gainesville for a low. Jenna and James, back to you.
Rebecca, thank you. Well, for some people, Jenna, religion is a very important part of everyday life.
And religious holidays are a significant part of keeping the faith. Darling Hill joins us with the story of a drive for greater recognition for certain holidays.
Yeah, Muslims in America think that with the acceptance of one of their biggest holidays, it will be a great breakthrough for their religion. As they're taking the request to the top, the idea for a White House petition drive came from someone in Connecticut, but the movement has swept across the states with some success already at a few school districts. For the Islamic faith, individuals pray 5 times a day, each prayer at a designated hour. There are also special days to commemorate events or traditions like any other religion. For Muslims, the most festive holiday is Eid Mubarak, and it's celebrated twice a year.
The first one is just go around and eat. You pretty much, it's supposed to make people friendly with each other because you invite your friends and your neighbor.
Eid is a time for the Muslim community to praise Allah, but for many Muslim Americans, Eid is a holiday not recognized by school or work. A petition on the White House website created nearly a month ago addresses this concern.
I agree about something like that completely, because it's very nice at least to get people like you to listen really what's the right face about this.
The petition asked for both times to be recognized as public holidays in the United States. Now, this isn't just an issue for the Muslim community. Other religions like Judaism have also been experiencing similar problems. Briella Meyer started a local petition to try to get Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah recognized by UF as holidays. Right now, UF just lets students with religious conflicts make up their work.
I mean, that would be amazing to actually get this day recognized as a whole nation. That would be amazing. I think what the Muslims are doing and getting Eid recognized is a big step for everyone. So.
With a semester system avoiding Christmas, U.S. policy is for the academic calendar to not recognize any religious holidays. In one Maryland school district, this movement led to dropping any mention of Rosh Hashanah or Christmas, with those days now on the calendar as generic days off, like a teacher workday or winter break day. But New York City schools have joined a few others in designating Eid holidays on the school calendar. As for the Eid petition, it's already over 100,000 signature mark, which will trigger some response from the White House.
Darling, thank you. Well, the University of Florida is celebrating National Arts and Humanities Month by showcasing local talent throughout campus and the community. Throughout the day, musical performances, dances, and exhibits popped up at the Plaza of the Americas, highlighting diversity and art. The pop-up culture event also provides students with information about art resources available to them at the university and around Gainesville.
It's quite special that we have this environment where we can be celebrating the arts and humanities as exhibited by the talents of each of our students. And it really brings a lot of fun in the midst of hard work of midterms.
Students and the community were able to participate with the 34 groups that were part of the event. Options included everything from painting with the Harn Museum to making a rubber band Mona Lisa with other students.
And it's the time of year when high school juniors are beginning to think about college. And now one popular standardized test is making major changes. WUFT's Ryan Nelson talked to students about this new test that will debut in the spring.
Period or fourth block.
The most widely used college readiness test is getting a new look. Among the changes, the SAT is doing away with rote memorization of rarely used words out of context.
A lot of the vocab is still there, it's just in context. So you still have to know a little bit of the vocab, but it's definitely a relief because I don't have to know a long list of it.
The math section is also getting a makeover, with 3 themed areas: analysis and problem solving, the heart of algebra, and a passport to advanced math.
High school students from around Alachua County arrived at school this morning to take the PSAT, and the test is already giving students a glimpse of what's to come this spring.
The SAT has made the writing portion optional. Reading passages will include some historic pieces such as the Declaration of Independence, the Federalist Papers, and the writings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
I think the kids can see some relevance in the stuff that they learn, like in their history courses and science courses and English courses, and if they can see that relevancy in the SAT, I think it's better.
With all the changes, students may have to change the way they prepare.
I was initially going to have some hand-me-down items and tips from other students from past years, but now that there's a new testing and types of questions, I feel like I need to start over again.
Ryan Nelson, WUFT News.
For those of us who remember taking a standardized test and doing a fair amount of guessing, there's more good news. The SAT will no longer punish you for wrong answers, so you can take your best shot.
A local church in Gainesville has committed to putting all of its profit from its pumpkin patch toward mission trips. The fundraiser is taking place at Trinity United Methodist Church. Visitors can take photos, purchase pumpkins, and go on hay rides this month to help with the effort. These trips are planned to assist people both locally and around the world.
Our high school does Appalachian Service Project every year, which has the goal of making homes warmer, safer, and drier. So they go up into the mountains in Kentucky or Tennessee and will rebuild homes there and help people who can't afford to do it themselves.
Now, students from grades 6 to 12 participate in the Trinity Mission Projects. Their effort to help would not be possible without the fundraising from the pumpkin patch. The patch is open on weekdays from 12 to 8 p.m. with extended hours on the weekends. Well, WUFT News First at 5 is just getting started. Coming up, more scooters than ever are trying to squeeze onto UF's campus. See what the university is trying to do to clear up some of that congestion.
Plus, first Amazon and now Kohl's trying an innovative new way to offer quicker delivery. That story and more coming up in our consumer news segment.
And temperatures will be dropping tonight into the 50s. Find out how long they could stay low coming up after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back. Scooter parking on UF's campus is more of a problem than ever this year.
That's right. UF's Office of Transportation has sold more scooter decals this year, making it more difficult to find an open space. WUFT's Sarah Kimbrough joins us now from the newsroom. Sarah, UF is offering a new option for getting around campus. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. This fall, the Office of Sustainability started a student bike rental program called Gator Gears. With 100 bikes available to rent for a low cost, the Office of Sustainability hopes this will persuade students that bikes are a viable means of transportation.
Students who own scooters have difficulty finding parking spots on campus. Or worse, when they do finally find a spot to squeeze their scooter into, they burn their leg on the exhaust from the scooter next to them. Stephen Gallo, a 6-year chemical engineer, says it's safer to ride a bike on the roads and easier to ride through campus to get to class.
I've really never been late because of riding my bike or whatnot. It's usually because I wake up late.
For students who don't have their own bike, they can rent one through the Gator Gears program for a semester or the year. Costs range from $40 to $100. Bikes can be rented online.
I think students are really realizing that it saves time, it saves effort to walk, to ride a bike, to take these other forms of transportation, because having a car, trying to maneuver that around campus or find any kind of parking, even remotely close by, is next to impossible.
Bikes are not only cheaper than scooters, but also easier to maintain.
About 8 bike repair stations are located around campus. You simply scan the barcode and find common bike repair issue videos.
These stations have a pump as well as different tools to allow people like Stephen Gallo to keep their bikes maintained and rideable.
As a 6-year, I've been here a while, so it's probably good to have something like that my last year, because I remember having to wait hours at times for sometimes to get your bike repaired at the regular bike shop, so I thought those were great ideas.
If students are interested in learning more about the different forms of transportation around UF, there is a sustainable transportation fair next Wednesday on the Wrights Union lawn from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Student Government's Bike Repair Program and RTS will be there to answer questions about transportation. The Office of Sustainability hopes people will find more ways to get around campus besides a car or a scooter. Reporting from the newsroom, Sarah Kimbrough.
Sarah, thank you. Well, we're starting to hear more and more about stores actually deciding to close on Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, going against the trend of some stores trying to beat the Black Friday rush. Luckily, we're joined by our consumer news reporter, Rafael Perez.
That's right. We'll get to GameStop's. We're going to talk about GameStop in a little bit, but first, let's talk about a brick and mortar store. It's acting more like an online delivery place. Just in time for the holidays, Kohl's is expanding its same-day delivery to 6 more cities. The retailer says it'll offer same-day deliveries in Boston, Brooklyn, Queens, Los Angeles, Miami, Northern New Jersey, and Philadelphia in the coming weeks. Kohl's has teamed up with Deliv, which is similar to Uber. They contract drivers to pick up items from stores, malls, and deliver them to homes. Deliv also handles Macy's same-day delivery service. One of the most popular video game chains has decided to stay closed on Thanksgiving Day. GameStop says its website will be open, but its U.S. stores will be closed for Thanksgiving holiday. The company's president says GameStop is taking a stance to protect the family during this important holiday. GameStop's stores will open at 5 in the morning on Black Friday. Some other stores that aren't opening on Thanksgiving Day include Staples, Costco, Marshalls, Barnes & Noble, and Burlington Coat Factory. Painting a room is not an easy task, but even worse is not liking the color once you're done. NBC's Mike Wendland shows us an app that can be used to prevent this problem.
Tap Painter makes it super easy to plan painting projects. You take a picture of the room or the wall that you want to paint. You select from thousands of available colors to see what the new color would look like on your screen, and then simply go to your closest paint or hardware store and find the color you want. Tap Painter's $2.99 for iOS devices. Project Color by Home Depot is designed, of course, to get you into a Home Depot store, but that doesn't matter if you just want to see how your painting project will look. Simply upload or take a picture and then scroll through thousands of potential colors. You can even see how different types of light will affect new colors, and giving it more of a realistic look. The app is free for iOS and Android. Color Snap Visualizers from Sherwin-Williams. It's a cool app that can help you almost perfectly color coordinate photos, paintings, just about anything with paint colors. Take a picture and the app starts scanning colors that are available from Sherwin-Williams. The app is free for iOS and Android.
Well, you want more information about all this? No problem. Head over to my PC Mike Tech blog. There's my address on your screen. I've built in direct links to everything you just saw. Till next time, I'm PC Mike Wendland for NBC News.
Facebook plans to take another step into the online shopping world. In the coming weeks, Facebook will begin testing a shop section as an additional tab, according to a company blog posted Monday. The feature is designed to be a single place for people to more easily discover, share, and purchase products. In that post, the company says it's responding to consumer demand, citing a survey that suggests nearly half of the people go to Facebook to actively look for products. Yesterday, Southwest Airlines started a 72-hour nationwide airfare sale, with some fares under $100 round trip on domestic routes. The sale has flight prices roughly based on distance. It covers domestic travel from December 2nd through December 16th, and also from January 5th through February 10th. Friday and Sunday flights are excluded, and some other day-of-the-week restrictions apply for travel to Florida, Nevada, and Puerto Rico. The sale ends at the end of the day tomorrow. What a great idea, that paint app. I know I've personally painted my room before and hated the end result, so I believe that actually saves people a lot of time.
Yeah, my favorite feature on the app is the color matching feature. So if you are inspired by any color, you can bring that inspiration into your own home.
Right. Yeah, we've got different shades of blue right now, so if anyone at home, has an idea of what kind of blue they want to use, so feel free to take a snapshot of us.
Thanks, Raphael.
Well, Rebecca told us a little earlier that it's going to get pretty chilly tonight, so the rest of this week we might have to pull out some sweaters.
Yeah, that's right. Rebecca is going to tell us just how long the cooler weather will be around. Rebecca?
Could have several nights with temperatures in the 50s, so yeah, for Floridians, native Floridians, you may want to keep a jacket or a sweater handy, especially in the morning, and it's all because of this front that moved through. Earlier on today, we had some clouds, but now the skies have cleared. That's because the front has moved to our south and is bringing just beautiful weather. It's because it's an even drier and cooler air mass than what we've had over these past couple of days. So as this moves in, well, the temperatures will be falling, the dew points will be falling, so it won't be feeling quite as humid outside, as we haven't really had much humidity over the past couple of days. We did have a little bit more moisture though this morning. In fact, temperatures were at 66 degrees here in Gainesville. By morning, tomorrow morning, I think we could be 12 degrees cooler at 54, and we could have several more nights of temperatures in the 50s as we gradually increase heading towards the weekend. So you may need that jacket for a couple of days. And as I mentioned, those temperatures tonight in the 50s, 52 in Lake City, 55 Perry, 54 in Gainesville, 57 out in Jacksonville. So much of North Florida will likely need a jacket when you head out the door. You'll be able to shed it in the afternoon if you do need one, of course, because of plenty of sunshine, and temperatures will be increasing into the 80s, but I mentioned the dew points. They're going to be staying low, so that means that even though the temperatures are going to be in the 80s, it's going to be feeling much more comfortable outside, so you'll definitely be able to enjoy that nice weather. Temperatures tomorrow likely falling once again down into the 50s in some spots across the area. For the rest of this week, well, we're going to be staying clear in terms of the rainfall. High pressure is going to stay in overhead, and then another front, yes, another one, approaches the area on Saturday, and it doesn't have a lot of activity along it because of all the dry air that's really taking over portions of the southeast. So there's not likely going to be any activity associated with it. Going to be another dry front with just a couple of clouds moving through the area. The difference is going to be where the high pressure is situated, and it's likely going to cause a very strong flow out of the north and east, which could bring some cloud cover, a little bit more moisture in overhead for this weekend, and could even trigger a few showers along the first coast. We'll of course continue to keep you updated as we get closer to that, but hey, let's say you're not staying in town this weekend and maybe you're going to watch the Gators take on the LSU Tigers. The weather won't be too bad there either. It's actually going to be a little bit warmer on Friday, but luckily as you head up, not going to be a lot of shower activity across the southeast, so it will be a nice drive up there, warm and breezy on Friday, and then clear and cooler for both Saturday and Sunday. Very nice weather in Louisiana for this weekend. For the game, for us, still some nice weather here. Of course, you may also need a jacket in Louisiana with those temperatures dipping down into the 50s. We'll have 50 degrees possibly in the overnight hours for the next 4 nights. Temperatures staying in the 80s through Saturday, but low humidity will keep it comfortable. And then as that next front moves through and more clouds build in, we could have temperatures in the 70s for Sunday and Monday. Back to you.
Rebecca, thank you. Well, once again, the Florida Gators have a player who will not be joining them this weekend.
That's right. Another Florida player has been suspended this week, and our sports anchor Jonathan Perez joins us with more.
Yeah, James, Jenna, not the best week for Florida. When we come back, we'll have more on the suspension of DeAndre Porter. Plus, we'll also scout this week's opponent, the number 6 LSU Tigers. Stay with us. Sports is next. Well, the bad news continues for the Florida Gators. Welcome back to sports. I'm Jonathan Perez. Head coach Jim McElwain said today in his teleconference that freshman DeAndre Porter is no longer active with the team following his arrest this morning. Take a listen.
He's no longer with the football team. He's suspended indefinitely for obviously a choice. It's his choice not to be with us, and it's one of those things that we don't obviously condone and or, like I said, it was his choice.
Porter has seen action on special teams but did not play in the last 2 games. Now, he was a high school star in Tampa and appeared to be heading towards USF before joining the Gators. Now, despite all the news, the Gators are still getting ready to take on the LSU Tigers this weekend for their first top 10 matchup since 2012. The number 8 Gators will travel to Baton Rouge and try to get a rare win at Tiger Stadium. Now, someone named Tebow managed to do it in 2009. The Gators are on top of the SEC East with a 4-0 record in conference play. Now, the Tigers, they're also on top of the SEC West after winning all 3 of their conference games. Florida announced on Monday sophomore quarterback Treon Harris will start this weekend, and although he's never played at an environment like Tiger Stadium before, Randy Shannon says his experience will help him.
A lot of people forget that he started in SEC play, and he's a quarterback. He's been there. He's done it. He played as a freshman. He played this year, so it shouldn't be a big deal to him. It's like we're not putting the pressure on Treon. We're putting the pressure on the 70 guys that line up and that's going to be suited up for the games. Those are the guys that have to play.
The Gators continue to prep with practice tonight. And now to scout the opponent, the LSU Tigers are playing solid football right now. They've outscored their opponents by 79 points. In their last game against South Carolina, they dropped 45 points in the win. Against South Carolina, Brandon Harris completed 18 of his 28 passes for 228 yards and threw 2 touchdown passes. But the real story for LSU this year has been about their unstoppable running back, Leonard Fournette. Just take a look at the outrageous numbers he's produced this season. He leads the country in rushing yards, over 1,000 yards in just 5 games. Remember, their first game was canceled because of a big storm with heavy lightning. Fournette is storming for 204 yards a game, and check out this. His lowest rushing performance of this year's game last week happened against South Carolina when he rushed for 158 yards. Yeah, that's still pretty impressive. Fournette is averaging 8.6 yards per carry, but Florida players say they're not intimidated by any running back.
He's the best back in the league. We're just going to have to rally to the ball and tackle him. I don't think it's, he's nothing that we can't stop, but we all do have to rally to the ball because he's an excellent athlete.
Yeah, he sure is. Florida volleyball is back on the floor tonight, and they're in Tennessee to take on the Volunteers. The Gators are looking to win their 3rd straight match after taking down Auburn and Texas A&M in straight sets. Both the Gators and the Vols are 3-3 in SEC play, and head coach Mary Wise said the Volunteers are at full strength.
I know that they have one of their key players is now healthy. And they were without her for some time. And so we're obviously getting Tennessee playing their best volleyball of the year.
That match gets underway tonight at 6 o'clock. In the ALDS today, it's all Game 5s, which means if you win, you move on, and if you lose, your season is done. First game that got underway today was the Texas Rangers over in Toronto taking on the Blue Jays. That score right now is 2-1 in the 4th inning. Later on today, the Astros will take on the Royals at 8:07. And in the National League, the Cubs finally clinched a postseason series at Wrigley Field, and it only took them 100 seasons to do it. The Cubbies took down the best team in baseball and an NL Central rival, the St. Louis Cardinals, yesterday 6-4. This is the first time they've made it to the National League Championship game since 2003. Now, James, Jenna, I'm sure, as you guys know, as well as our viewers, Back to the Future 2 actually called it. They said the Cubs would go on to win the World Series. Now, they're not there yet, but maybe it could be interesting, and we'll have to see if they're right. They can win the World Series.
Yeah, and if not, it looks like Doc and Marty might have to come back to the future to make it work.
or make another movie. They can make another movie.
Yeah, that could always work too.
Jonathan, thank you.
And what a better way is there to celebrate Halloween than getting scared for a good cause?
That's right. Family-owned Madness and Mayhem Haunted House and Graveyard donates all of its proceeds to local nonprofit organizations. This year, the Haunted House has more than 100 volunteers who work without pay. The owners are hoping for a bigger success this year than in years past.
Last year, we did only 3 nights, and we made about $6,000. So this year, we're going to be open every weekend in October. So we're hoping to triple that.
Tickets are only $10, and if you're interested in volunteering or even attending the event, check out their website. And before we go, let's get one last check on the weather.
Here's Rebecca.
Temperatures tonight will be falling into the 50s, 54 Gainesville, 52 in Lake City. So you may need a jacket when you step out the door, not just tomorrow morning, but for the next couple of days. Temperatures in the afternoon hours also in the 80s, plenty of sunshine and comfortable conditions. Back to you.
5, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org.
And here on WUFT TV, BBC World News is up next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7 o'clock. Have a good night.